course, this is every parent's absolute worst nightmare manifested. 3 suspects now in custody in connection to the kidnapping of that 3-month-old baby boy who tonight is safe. Now, shocking surveillance video shows a man just walking away with the infant. San Jose police say that boy was taken from inside his home, and it happened while his grandmother was downstairs unloading groceries. NewsNation's Nancy Liu is live for us to take us through all the chilling details. And Nancy, police are calling this premeditated.
Yeah, the details certainly point to that. They are not saying much, though, about the 3 people in custody. They have revealed that these 3 do have links to the family of baby Brandon. One of the people in custody is believed to be the man seen in the video calmly walking away with 3-month-old Brandon Cuellar in a baby carrier just over 24 hours ago. The kidnapping in a quiet San Jose neighborhood happened as the baby's grandma was unloading groceries and mom was at work. San Jose police unraveled the plot after questioning a woman who was with the grandma while shopping. They say her story was inconsistent, leading to the other suspects and this morning's recovery of baby Brandon.
This incident is a parent's worst nightmare. We are fortunate that this resulted in a positive outcome. This investigation once again highlights the dedication and commitment of our women and men who go above and beyond every day to keep our community safe.
Now, baby Brandon was taken to a hospital as a precaution. He checked out okay. He is doing fine. And the baby's family, though, has not yet spoken publicly about this ordeal. Nichole?
You know, and Nancy, there was an interesting tidbit in all of this. Earlier, you know, police say that the kidnapper appeared to bring his own baby carrier.
And that's why they're saying this is part of some kind of planned plot. So this man arrived at that apartment complex with a baby carrier and making it less likely that this was some kind of crime of opportunity with the baby sitting there in a carrier. But not only that did he bring the carrier, he also brought that white blanket to cover the carrier as he walked away with the baby.
All right, well, Nancy, of course, just glad that baby Brandon is back home safe. All right, thank you. All right, here now to discuss this case, NewsNation security contributor and former FBI agent Jennifer Koppendoffer. Jennifer, always good to speak with you. You know, so obviously good news, a great update tonight that baby Brandon is back home. But we know police did not choose to send out an Amber Alert because there wasn't a license plate to give the public. What is law enforcement's next best steps in a case like this? Can they send an Amber Alert maybe in a different capacity to get the public's help?
Well, the Amber Alerts are completely subjective, and it's up to those lead agencies to make these decisions. As long as they have a minor, that is the main point that is objective. The subjective points are, do they believe an abduction took place? In this case, obviously, an abduction took place. And then secondarily, do they have a description of the child? In this case, I think there was enough to issue an Amber Alert. Remember, the point of an Amber Alert is to put the community on notice so that people can be aware that an infant was abducted and can provide clues to law enforcement.
You know, so Jennifer, we know 3 people right now are in custody, but investigators not releasing the names of the suspects nor much information really surrounding this case. Why is that?
Well, this case is ongoing. They are working at putting all the facts together. We don't know if there's other possible co-conspirators, if there's locations that they're working on search warrants for. So they want to keep everything pretty close to the best so they do not conflict with conducting a good investigation post-arrest of these individuals.
All right, you know, so Jennifer, you know, kind of walk us through the workings of this case. We know initially the family was saying that they didn't believe the kidnapper, that they knew the kidnapper. How do investigators get the right information? Because we know right now that there may be some connection with the family. You know, how do they walk through that? And then what charges could potentially be coming for these suspects?
Well, initially, when you first view this, it seemed to me to be very premeditated. As Nancy Liu pointed out, we had a blanket, we had a carrier. We didn't have somebody rushing in and rushing out. They seemed to know the perfect opportunity where the grandmother would be unloading groceries so that they could make this abduction happen. So in this capacity, we're looking at what do people who know this child, what are they saying? And you begin interviewing, and that's exactly what they did. And when they saw that the people they were interviewing were not providing information that made sense, they knew to hone in on that. And that gave them the clues to make this arrest.
Which is, yeah, a great arrest there, great work by investigators there. All right, Jennifer, we want to switch gears. We want to talk about a different case. Obviously, I know you're familiar with it. This, missing 10-year-old girl in Wisconsin, sadly found dead. Police are investigating it as a homicide. They're saying that right now the community is still potentially in danger. We know no one has been arrested. So what are the next steps in a case like this?
Well, the key to this case is the autopsy. They need to see what was the cause of death. They also need to glean all sorts of hopeful clues from that autopsy. DNA, trace evidence such as hairs, maybe fibers. Also, the scene is crucial right now. Maybe that predator left imprints of their shoes. Maybe that predator left evidence behind. Whenever anyone goes any place, we leave little traces behind, and that is going to be the key to solving this case.
And hopefully investigators will, in fact, be able to do just that. Jennifer Koppendoffer, as always, thank you.
Thank you, Nichole.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.